Happy 5th of December and welcome to my living room. You have spoken, I have listened. This will be all about the cookies. And of course, if we listen to this one, primstaven, there will be no cookies at all because pre-1700 Norway didn't have any cookies, and the reason for that is that we didn't have ovens. It was not common to eat yeast bread or bread that was risen in Norway at all. You had a few places like Bergen where you had a big German population and other bigger towns where they had bakeries, but for normal people, most people in Norway lived on farmsteads in the 1700s, scattered around the countryside. The way they made bread was on big metal platters that you had a fire underneath and you made flat bread. And the normal bread was crispy and thin, and you could put whatever on top and you could store it for years and years, and that was why they loved it. And for special occasions they would make lefse, which is soft and sweet, and you can put butter on it and brown cheese, and yeah, so we didn't have a lot of different cookies like we do now. But from the 1800s, especially 1850s on, it became normal for people to have an oven and bake both bread and cakes and cookies. And especially in the 1900s, the tradition with Christmas cookies became well known all over the country. And you were supposed to bake 7 types of Christmas cakes or cookies for Christmas. What those 7 types were was different between regions, but there are some that is almost always on the list. For example, this one called krumkake. You bake it flat and then you have this wooden thing that you roll it around as it gets cold. The thing about this one is that you can put something in it. You can have cream, jam and different things, so it's not that dry. I like that about this one. And then you have a very similar one called goro. It has a very nice pattern, and you could have your own pattern when you lived on a farm, so that everyone could see that this cookie was from your farm. So goro is always on the list. And then you have this one, Berlinerkrans, and this one called sirupsnipp. It's a little bit like gingerbread, but not completely. And then you have smultring, which looks like a donut but tastes differently. So I like this because it's soft, it's not dusty. There are 3 cakes that I couldn't find: sandkake, fattigmann and serinakake. And I will put pictures of them so you can see them. I especially liked sandkaker when I was a girl because they are a little soft. And then you have the ones that you can add. This one, kokosmakron. This is made of coconut and egg whites and sugar, and they are supposed to be very easy to make. I have never mastered it. I'm not very good at cookies, but I like this because it's soft in the middle and it's a little chewy. And this is also chewy. This is kransekake. It's made of almonds, and you can also get them in circles, and they sort of build a tower. I will put a picture in it of that as well. And these are also very good. And then of course you have gingerbread. This was baked by my daughter, and with all the trimmings, beautiful. And then you have this one, kakeman, cake man, which doesn't really taste much, and yeah, but I guess it is good, but it doesn't taste Christmas at all, in my opinion. And I'm sure if you go around Norway, you will find people having different traditions on what to bake, but this is sort of the safe bets. And I only make gingerbread because my daughter likes it, and of course I think that is the most popular thing to make, because you can buy ready-made dough everywhere, even at IKEA. So you can just roll it out and make cookies. I always make my own dough because I think it tastes better. Of course, the ingredients in all the Christmas cookies are almost identical. So there's a lot of like commercials, one dough, 5 different cookies. And then why? But usually it's a lot of butter, a lot of sugar, and white flour. And the reason for that is because that was what people had little of. Christmas is all about being out of the ordinary. You ate food and cakes and drank things that you normally didn't. So the more sugar, the more fat, the more white flour, the better, because then it was like all the fun things. Yeah, so I have spent maybe a week's pay in cookies today, and when I have eaten them, I'm gonna need bigger clothes. So send money, please.
Når en pepperkakebaker baker pepperbakekaker, tar han først en stekegryte og en kilo margarin. Oppi gryta smelter smøret, og det neste han må gjøre, er å røre sammen smøret med en kilo med farin.